back to the bone. Yeah, flying flashy, ayy, ayy, we too fancy, ayy, ayy, can't walk past me, ayy, ayy, right up your alley, wait, I gotta play it safe, watch me isolate, watch me isolate, ayy, watch me isolate. So, clear out the room, I'm coming through. They wanna see what I'm about. Yeah, I got skills, do it for the thrill. I'm on a paper route. Extra, read about it. I'm today's trending topic. I put commas over bullshit. Yeah, I put that on mamas. They tryna block all my blessings. They thought I lost and snapping. I bet on me and my team. ISO is what I'm rapping. Put on for the whole city. Yeah, I got them rocking with me. I bet on me and my team. ISO is what I'm rapping. Sending emojis, I'm blowing a pack of that OG. Don't be acting like you know me. And if you did, that's the old me. Winter time, rock a cold fleece. Pocket fat, that's obese. Only talking money if it's increased. She give me brain, girl, no teeth. I touch down, bust down. She busted open for a real nigga. Stay tummied up, trying to build it up, trying to count it up, hill figures. Don't be chilling with no little niggas, and if I do, I be real with them. Chase a dream, that's a meal ticket. ISO gang, yeah, they still with us. I put it in motion, they got me steady. Thoughts on my mind, it's weighing heavy. Watch how I shine, tell them I'm ready. I'm hitting my stride, let's get to the Fetty. I was just sitting back watching them go. Racks on me now, yeah, it's looking slow. I hold it down, then I got my own. Keeping it grown, we back to the bone. Yeah, flying flashy, ayy, ayy, we too fancy, ayy, ayy, can't walk past me, ayy. Hey, right up your alley, wait, I gotta play it safe, watch me isolate, watch me isolate, hey, watch me isolate, clear out the room, I'm coming through, they wanna see what I'm about, yeah, I got
music so hot, you gotta listen naked.
Hey y'all, I am not in here long. I'm not here long. Hey y'all, I'm busy this week. I am so busy. What up, y'all? I did have some commentary for y'all, but my phone been ringing like literally off the hook today. So kind of, time just went by. But we got Funky Friday coming. I am only here. What up, Curtis? What up, Chi-Town? What up, you guys? I just want to, God, it's like 11:28. Oh, and I know once I start to run in my mouth, I'm going to be late. I already know. So, y'all doing good today? I missed everybody. So I was like, let me pop on here for a minute to say hello to everybody. Hello. Let you guys know that I'm alive. I'm still okay. I'm okay. Cold. It's cold as hell. Hope you guys are, ready. We can anticipate the weather for March to possibly get up to the high 50s, you guys. So not too bad, but unpredictable windy city, right? Unpredictable windy city. Tomorrow is the last day of the purchasing of the hoodies. It is the last day. I'd like to thank everybody that did their damn thing and grabbed them a hoodie and mask for the walk for Kale. So that's what's up. That's what's up. So, Chi-Town, what's up? What's up? What's up, Trevin? How are you doing today? How you guys doing today? I don't know. Oh, God, I really want to play this video, but I know I just really don't have time. I don't know. Hello, lovable Leo. Hello. Y'all got enough tea for the week, though. Y'all got enough tea, boy. Yeah, I know y'all got some tea this week, cause baby, when I say the battle was on, see, there I go, getting started to run my damn mouth. The battle was on, right? With the two, with the two, with the two different things, right? Good morning, beauty love. Good morning. Good morning, yo, with the two, y'all seen that shit, right? Yeah, I seen that shit. But you know what? Oh my God, y'all gonna have me late. Y'all gonna have me late. I shouldn't have popped. Oh, I shouldn't have pushed this button. I shouldn't have pushed the button. But since we are already here, let me see if I can make this go kind of fast so I don't be too late. Hello, T-Lid, sweetie. Hello. Okay, let me see if I can get the video to actually play. I'm going to skip through it. I'm going to stop through it. And you know what? It's probably going to be something for Saturday, y'all. Oh, y'all, let me tell y'all this. I so happened to find, I was, just kind of monkeying around on my phone yesterday, right? And I was like, oh my God, let me look at some more charms, right? I found the most beautiful charm. So I'm going to get it, but I got to fill up my Pandora bracelet a little bit more. I was like, oh, I got to have that charm. It's going to be tight, but yeah, I'm going to get that charm. So, but right now, priorities first, no big deal, but oh my God. Okay, let me see if I can get this video going, you guys. And you'll see where I'm kind of going with this video, and especially what's been going on through the week, through the week, the back and forth, and he said this and you said that and you did this and you did that. I got my own opinion about it. I really do. And of course over here it's opinionated talk, right? It is. It's opinion talk though. But we shall see. Yeah. Okay. Let me see if I can get it up and going though first. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Let's do this. I'm going to be skipping through some of it.
It was clever and funny.
But give me a second. I'm going to skip through a little bit of it. Let me take it back to here. Right here. Yeah. Wait a minute. Let me see where I want to start it at. I'm going to start it right there. So give me a second.
We left Africa. Something more than rhythm. We had a high culture. Culture was so high that great artists in the world are still borrowing from it. Now here's a sculpture by an unknown African artist. And here's what Paul Klee took from him. Now here's a work by an unknown black African. And Pablo Picasso liked what he saw. Another African design, and Modigliani swiped it.
For
or he was influenced by it, or whatever polite word you want to use.
I do not own the rights.
Another black African artist, and
Shout out to
Castle
Bill
didn't change it
Cosby,
very
in case
much.
you guys are,
I mean,
he's
when you
familiar.
look
You guys can
at this
recognize him,
copying,
right? But
you got to
I
give
want
us
you
a
guys to
little more
listen to him
than
just
rhythm. You
for
got to give
a
us
second.
style. Now, if you tell the history of slavery right, you got a big problem on your hands. The slave trader didn't take some savage out of Africa. He took a human being. He sold him like an animal and separated him from his family. America invented the cruelest slavery in the history of the world. It broke up black families. After slavery was over, America kept breaking up the black man's family. And that's some awful history to teach. Now, if you want to look history right straight in the eye, you're going to get a black eye. Because it isn't important whether a few black heroes got lost or stolen or strayed in America's history textbooks. What's important is why they got left out. Now, this country has got a psychological history. There was a master race, there was a slave race. And though there isn't any political slavery anymore, those same old attitudes have hung around. I mean, the burning part of Burn, Baby Burn is right here in this classroom. We want to thank Mrs. Lovely Billups and the whole gang here at fourth grade for the brilliant and intelligent artwork that they've done here to make this whole broadcast sing. I want you guys to keep pretending that I'm not here. You're doing a great job, and just keep on drawing and reading and writing, doing what you have to do, because I'm going to talk about some other kids. Not you, Mary, John, and Bob. These are kids from other schools. Did you know in some states it used to be against the law to teach blacks to read or write? Nowadays we're getting these integrated schoolrooms, and most people think that if we get enough teaching and enough jobs, everything is going to take care of itself. But there is a scar of history running right through kids as young as these. It tears you up if you know how to look at drawings kids make, because kids shouldn't know much about history and anything about discrimination. I mean, nobody hates little black kids, but why do some of them cause so much trouble? And if you ask black and white children to draw themselves, or trees, or houses, some strange things happen. We asked some ordinary white kids from ordinary families to make some drawings for us. Like, well, let's call him John. John's white, and we asked him to draw himself. This is John. This is his house, and this is his tree. Then we asked a black kid, let's call him Ralph, to do the same thing. This is Ralph's drawing of himself. This is his tree. Now, why should two kids of the same age draw so differently? Enter the expert. This is Dr. Emmanuel Hammer, psychiatrist specializing in children's therapy.
Let me illustrate it for you, right? Because, you know, it's always, I think I would have appreciated this man here point of view if it would have been two different point of views of why the black child does a difference in his drawing, in the way that he see life circumstances differently from the white child, right? I just really wish that it was also a black professor that gave his analogy based on the same example of what Bill Cosby is trying to get to, because I can get into the because, but you know, you got to be real careful with what things of what you say in nature when it comes to this sensitive subject here. But I'm going to make a point to you guys here of what has happened from what I've learned. And you know that our panels have been mostly about how we are conditioned and learned by things that we are, you know, things that we are around, people that we are around, places that we are around, you know. So it's the learned process behavior that turns us out to be the people that we chooses, because it's a choice to be. But let me let you guys listen to how he describes to you guys the difference of why each child, the white child and the black child, paints their picture of certain objects. Let's look at this.
For you. Let's take these drawings.
No matter what a child draws, he's really picturing himself. Ask a secure child to draw a tree, and he's likely to draw a bountiful, spreading tree. A black child drew this tree, cut off in its growth, stark, bare, ungratified. It works the same way with drawings of people. Normal children, average drawings. The mood is happy, the child feels capable, the drawings are complete, and the arms are developed to emphasize strength. These children were old enough to draw complete figures. The significant fact is what they left out: arms, hands. A child may sense that a situation in life is so powerless that he himself is equivalent to an armless man. My own study reveals that armless people appear 3 times more frequently in the drawings by black children than those by white. The faceless beings suggest that these youngsters not only feel themselves to be less than they might be, they don't even feel themselves to be. The black child who is forced to live in a hostile world may disappear in self-defense. He drifts through life feeling like a shadow. He stops caring and he stops trying. A child who has this on his mind cannot be a child. A child who has this on his mind could want to burn down cities when he gets older.
The whole confusion was summed up by a black 9-year-old in these 2 paintings. This is a 9-year-old boy draws a white man, Robin Hood maybe. And this is how the same boy draws himself. And this is the consequence of deformed history.
Linda, close the curtains. Brian, lower the screen. Bonnie, lights, please.
In the past 50 years, 33,000 feature films have been made in the United States, and about 6,000 of them have had parts for black actors. For the most part, the black portraits have been drawn by white writers, white producers, and white directors for a white audience. Most black parts were the way white Americans wanted them to be. The black male was consistently shown as nobody, nothing. He had no qualities that could be admired by any man, or more particularly, any woman.
When the sun goes down, the tide goes down, the dogs gather round and they all begin to shout, hey, hey, Uncle Dudley.
White people didn't like to think much about them, sort of like a relative you got in a rest home. I mean, happy darkies, dancing and singing was all they wanted to hear about. Being good Christians, the whites out front liked to think the blacks out back were kind of happy. Uncle Tom's Cabin was one of the first movies made that tried to say anything about black people. Uncle Tom was changed a little each time it was put on the stage, and all the parts were played by white actors, and by the time they made a movie of it in 1903, Uncle Tom was just the white man's idea of a good nigger. You might say he was what H. Rap Brown ain't. They made this picture 5 times. And by the time they finished with it, Mickey Rooney could have played Uncle Tom. Minstrel shows started as the black man's entertainment for himself and the plantation owners. When they were filmed, though, they were done by a white cast. You figure that out. They were done as sort of a joke, and the black entertainer couldn't even get a job making fun of himself. The first really vicious anti-Negro film was called The Birth of a Nation, and it was a honey. And the second worst thing about it was that technically in 1918 it was the best movie that had ever been made. A cat named D.W. Griffith produced it, and he knew how. See? Birth of a Nation pretended to tell the story of the Civil War and what happened afterwards when the slaves were freed. White women couldn't walk on their own sidewalk, if you believe the picture. In the South, Negroes got the right to vote, and the movie showed black vote collectors refusing to accept white votes, and black people sneaking in extra votes. And if these black bad guys don't look very bad to you, it's probably because they were white actors wearing burnt cork. Negro legislators took over in the South, and in the film they were made to look like apes. And this was the movie version of how it looked in the Southern state legislature. They drank whiskey, they ate chicken with their hands in the State House, and they put their feet up on the table with the shoes off. And of course, they passed all sorts of crazy laws according to the film. Like anybody
Okay, I'm
could.
gonna stop it right there because when I got to this part of the Bill Cosby commentary, on being lost, stolen, or strayed, is basically a question to me. Were we lost? Were we stolen? Were we strayed? Well, we know we were. We know we were. But as I listen to how Bill Cosby tells his theory about slavery, about being lost, and about being strayed, I almost kind of gathered up like, well, okay, to me, at some point of time, we kind of had a little bit of freedom to become somebody, to do relevant things in our society. We were. So I got to this part here and I'm like, well, okay, we had control at one time of the house. And I'm looking at this. Then I had to go back to the beginning of his film, and I'm thinking, okay, right here is where we were being conditioned. We were being learned that this is who we were going to mount to be. Nothing. We're going to be ignorant. We're going to be, the bottom of the pit, just Negroes. That was it. That was the only status that we were going to ever have. But what would have defined Negroes along the way? To me, it's like we were given like this chance. We were given a chance by a few white Americans, and we get that selective group that had that chance to take the forefront and teach and learn us, relearn us, recondition us from being idiots, from being monkeys or clowns, whatever you want to put it, and go with that and make us out of something. Let us control, let us ourselves. So as I got to this part, and wait till you guys watch this part because it's crazy, because I'm like, okay, well, they had and they let them in there and they controlled, as he say, but we was already conditioned where we wasn't taught how to read, or they wasn't taught how to write, how to act. They conditioned us to make us afraid of a lot of things, being Black. So let's look at this part. And I swear, I'm like, okay, we're in the house. We have control. But here we have something that I'm going to say our ancestors, because this was way back then, who just still wasn't capable of handling situations like this, because they were already conditioned at birth. What up, Lee Jones? What up? So, they gave them a try. And here they are as a failure again. But I got a point to the story, you guys. Let me see.
Marry anybody they wanted to. It was obvious to anyone who saw this picture that Negroes weren't fit to govern themselves or anyone else because they really weren't people. This film is 50 years old and it may look silly.
To govern ourselves. We wasn't fit to govern ourselves. We're going to go through some of these comments too, you guys, because they're very interesting.
And out of date now, but it didn't look silly when it was made and seen. Several million Americans who saw it were propagandized to believe that this is the way things would be if they weren't careful. So they've been pretty careful. Colonel Cameron, a former officer in the Confederate Army, is all upset over the way Northerners and the freed slaves are changing his South, taking the mint julep right out of his mouth.
He goes by telling us that here we are, this calling him, who's pretty upset because the Black Americans at one point seemed to appear to have too much power, too much controlling. They were in the house. But they didn't know how to handle the house. They were in there acting like monkeys and idiots and drinking and shooting dice and a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know if you guys remember back then when Obama got elected, and YouTube kind of went viral a little bit about there's going to be barbecues set up and backyard parties, and when the Obamas moved into the White House. I don't know if you guys remember that, but I was like, wow, really? But this guy here, he gets upset now he's got to figure out, this isn't working out. I have to find some way to take back control, of the land. The Black Americans just has been given too much power here. So let's see what he does.
So he takes a walk one day while he's worrying about it, and he sees 2 white kids playing, and then 4 black kids come along. Being hardly human and naturally afraid of ghosts, the black kids run. Colonel Cameron sees the whole scene, gets his great idea. And with this, that great white all-American organization, the KKK, was born. The cavalry and the bedsheeters come to the rescue. The South is saved. In this picture, the Ku Klux Klan was the good boy who saved the South. Most Hollywood films, though, even the...
comes in, the little kids, and they sit with the white sheet. And of course, we have been conditioned to always be afraid of the white sheet. And of course, his idea turns on, light bulb, bling. Guess what we're going to do? Develop this group, the KKK. And of course, the KKKs that we know wears these white sheets and everything. And today, we, I think, are still conditioned to be afraid of the KKK clan. So that's just my opinion. I just feel that way. I think that if they all come saddling up, riding down the street, a war may break out, but I think a whole lot of people, especially the elderly people who had lived this time of error here, they probably run on in the house and be like, oh, here we go with this shit again, but let's go. This is not too long, you guys, because I'm not going to the end of it.
Early ones weren't really nasty. Nobody was sitting around saying, hey, let's take care of the niggers. What producers were doing was making money. And to make money, they made pictures that white ticket buyers would enjoy. They showed Negroes the way most Americans like to think of them. To blame Hollywood is like throwing a rock at the mirror because you don't like what you see in it. Burt Williams was one of the great vaudeville performers. He couldn't get parts in white pictures, so he made a lot of short comedies. He played the part most Americans consider typical Negro. He wasn't bad, really, just lazy, stupid, and happy the way he was. And his feet hurt. He was afraid of most everything. And when he was scared, he shook and his teeth chattered. Unlike a scared white man, the black man's eyes could pop out of his head. And when he was so scared he couldn't talk. And he was also so scared he couldn't run. Black women, on the other hand, were steady and imperturbable. They stood like a rock on the face of things that scared black men.
And still today, women stand on the rock. Like, women are so, like, strengthened with power. That we really are. I think that we do hold a lot of mentality, powerness over our men out here when it comes to, just life in general. I really do think so. I'm not talking about like the streetwise or whatever. I'm talking about like fending, for your home base and, defending your home base and things like that. I think that we hold a lot of just strength in that area. So, but let's go because we're almost done.
Another strange physical characteristic was when they were really very scared, the guys turned white. When you look back on these old films, the patterns come jumping out at you. The most consistent thing about them was the attack on the black man. He was never even given the privilege of being a man. He was a boy, as in, here, boy. They had a lot of other great qualities besides being cowardly.
That in mind. So I'm gonna bag it up. Listen to what Bill Cosby said, just on that little part right there. Just that little part. Remember what he said.
Another strange physical characteristic was when they were really very scared, the guys turned white. When you look back on these old films, the patterns come jumping out at you. The most consistent thing about them was the attack on the black man. He was never even given the privilege of being a man. He was a boy, as in,
Never
you know.
giving the privilege of being a man. He was considered a boy. So I think I want to stop it right there because the rest of it, I think you guys will kind of get, right? So then if we go into, and it's actually a really, it's pretty good. This Black History, Lost, Stolen, and Straight is pretty good. I watched the whole thing, so I enjoyed it, but it's in some of these concerts. I meant some of the comments, I'm sorry. The Bill Cosby, they don't want you to know. This is the only way to remember Dr. Bill Cosby. They did a number on Bill, and it's deeper than most know. Don't believe the lies. This is the real Bill Cosby, not the CNN version. Says that he had so much power, money, and knowledge for a Black man. That's why it is imperative that we educate our own. It says, how many of you guys want to see where are these children now? And that's irrelevant. This is why Bill Cosby is in jail. He has always been the same committed Black man. Man, y'all bless him to return home to his family soon. Let's find some more. This is how I choose to remember Bill Cosby. I've never knew this existed. Now I see why they went after Bill Cosby. So, and it goes on, it goes on, but, and they get into colorism, and things, but let me do this because I want to stop sharing this. Shout out to Bill Cosby. It's like I say, I got my opinion on how I look at certain things, you guys, and this is an old film of Bill Cosby. And I think I kind of get it now a little bit on when you become powerful, when you have inserted yourself to become rich and famous, right? It's like you belong like to this other side of the world. But I have read, I think, 2 of Bill Cosby books. I think they still out in my box, and I'm going to dig them up. How to Be a Man. It was something like that, right? And then now I sit here and I read over a little things that, he has gotten allegations put on him about, right? So I'm reading these things, right? I'm reading these things and I'm asking myself, how do we go from teaching to the humanities out here, to the humans, the men, because it also would apply to women in some sort, right? But how do you go from reconditioning the mindset of what is happening or what had happened to our Black culture out here, right? How do you go from that? I'm trying to make sense of it, you guys. I do, right? And I know that he is that he's a good teacher. He was a good teacher, right? But then you make all this money, you help produce, and you show in all of these films to have, like, how do you put yourself in a situation like where these allegations can easily come about? You feel what I'm saying, you guys? It's puzzling to me. It's very, very puzzling to me. And a day out of my life here and there, I ponder myself and I keep asking myself those same questions. And I do know that for the most part that, we feel like that because we have all of this type of money for this, and we could do that, and we can buy 18 houses, and we could do this and that. All of the women, yes, will become, become attractive to me if I'm that rich, and then I could, you know, I could do this because I have all of this self-control due to the power of money, right? But when I go back to find videos like this, right, and then I go and I'm looking at his indictment and the allegations, or listening to all of the allegations from the women, you know, that came forth and said that this thing happened and this thing happened. And Mr. Bill Cosby is married man, right? And I how? That's my, like, how did something like this happen? How does allegations like this happen? We love to say, you know, a lot of our women are vindictive. You know, they're mean. You know, when they can't get what they want, they're gonna do this to you. They're gonna do this to you. But when you are in such a powerful status, an era of your lifetime, it's like you just make sure it don't happen. You have all of the sources and everything for, can't nobody say or do anything, you know, to me. So you know, it just really, really confuses me, especially with Mr. Bill Cosby, because like I said, I read his book, and I think one of them was like How to Be a Gentleman or Be a Man or something like that. So to me, he was always this teacher on how to get it right. This teacher on showing you how we were conditioned back in, you know, in those years. So, but if you're going to be out here and you're going to teach this to us to help grow our men, to help our men become men, you know, I'm just, like I say, I just stay puzzled with how does this happen? I wish I can go on with the video, you guys, because it does get really, really good. If you guys, you know, want to take a little time out to click on the video, maybe it's something that we can finish discussing on the Saturday panel that will be coming up this Saturday, you guys. So the panel will be here. But like I say, I think that we all have those certain choices in our life. We do. We all know we're not dumbfounded about our history. We're not. What we are handicapped at is we're handicapped at conditioning ourselves to become better people. We are so weak-minded at everything that they throw at us that we know is bad, but we still grab it because we got to test it. We got to see what's to it. Do I, you know, and then before you know it, you're caught up in that era, and you can't bring yourself back. You know what I'm saying? Age is getting you, the years are going by. It's crazy. Before you know it, you're in your early 30s, late 40s, early 50s, and have not accomplished anything. And furthermore, you have not even passed what your knowledge is on to someone else to become better than you are in your lifetime, because you're gonna die. You're gonna go on. And they ask you, well, what is legacy? You know, what is legacy? Who's gonna leave the legacy in your family? Or what will you be leaving as your legacy? What, your last name? Well, we know we're gonna have that, but it's like what? And as I grew and got older, and I'm out here, right? And I see all of, you know, I see it all. And I question myself about a lot of things. We still do have that fear about, well, why go and get involved in this if we're not going to have something that is willing to change 100% effectively? And we got some odds out there. We got 80% of the pros that's yes, we're for this, and we know that this is the right thing to do. But we still have the other 20% out there because they so messed up. It's like, oh, you know what? Well, you know, fuck that, because you know. So I'm lost with that part. And I understand that we all have different mindsets and different goals in life. It's just that I don't understand know in your heart where it is supposed to be right, but you still choose to just do wrong, because doing wrong and doing right, it's a choice. So it's really weird. It's really weird how the mind works, and it's very puzzling. But what I'm saying to say, because of the video that I showed you guys, it had a point to it. It really had a point to it. First of all, yeah, it was Black History Month, so I thought I'd drop some of that and shout out to Bill Cosby, because as some of the comments says, that is the Bill Cosby that I know. That's the one that I grew up on, and so did you guys. The Bill Cosby show and the Jello Pudding Pop commercials and things like that, and appearing in a bunch of movies. It was like that one. And then you try to take and you pan in what is really going on in Hollywood, which a lot of us are never going to understand. We're never going to understand it. We're trying to understand what's going on in the music industry. We hear it, we can analyze it a little bit, but will we really 100% effectively understand it? I don't think that we ever, I know that I never will. I can't sit here and say that I understand this whole industry thing 100%. I don't. I have, a little bit of knowledge of why this and why that. I guess what I'm blind at is how is it that a person can come and be such a famous person and earn so much wealth in his life to where you're living a beautiful life and you're having kids? How is it that someone or you can possibly put yourself in situations for the most, inevitably to happen to you? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's very, very puzzling to me. Very goddamn puzzling to me. Ain't no way in the world. He was like, what, the 300 million, something like that. I believe Bill Cosby topped at 300. I'm just estimating or guesstimating. I like to use guesstimating. He was somewhere around that with, he got ranches up the ass and he had this up the ass, and now it's all for attorney fees and for this and for different settlements for this lady and this lady and this lady and this lady, and it's just crazy. It was even now, I guess, lawsuit out there or something about Camilla. Allegedly Camilla was supposed to have went to the bank or something, and she needed to get some funds or something out of it. And I don't know, I guess Bill Cosby got word or something of it. I don't know if he thought maybe that she was planning on leaving or whatever, and he had ended up freezing that account or something, so she had to go and explain, what the funds were for and things. A whole bunch of mess. It's crazy. It makes you not want to be rich, because if you're rich, you are going to be a target in some area of, if you are a male, some area of what a female is going to come after your ass, or the industry is going to come after your ass. It's like you caught in a catch-22 with this shit. It's like, okay, I thought I owned me. I thought I was free, Lancer. I did these films. I did this and I did that. These are my checks. But apparently with the two people that we see going through this, and that's Mr. Kelly and Mr. Bill Cosby, wealthy men, but as well trapped in this cycle, whether either it's the women or it's the industry. And that is bizarre. It's so goddamn far-fetched bizarre. To me, it doesn't make any sense at all, you guys. It's weird. It's very, very weird. So very, very weird. Hello to everybody in the chat room. Hello, everybody. So I don't know. Will it change? I don't know. Do they shut down the music industry? Do we change the laws, or can the laws be changed for upcoming new artists at the age of, certain age where, you can't become involved in the music industry until you are of age? It's so much. it's so much to deal with. And, you know, and we know that for a fact that these two men, Mr. Bill Cosby and Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, we know that they're not going to be the last two. We know that. We know that. Word on the street has it is allegedly that Steve Harvey is about to get some attention out here on the street, you guys. And that's, you know, sad to say, I think he's next up on the panel. I think he's next up on the panel with, you know, some dark hidden secrets or allegations or something. I think that, you know, we're about to see some spotlight come out about him, and everybody's going to be in a shock. Now, I'm done with that. And like I say, my prayers goes out to Mr. Kelly and Bill Cosby, you guys. It really does. But, you know, life still must go on. This is where we have to learn better and do better, pretty much. Now, a bunch of arguing and beefing and he said and she said is going on, you guys. And I see a whole lot of people where it's entertaining, and I get that. What behooves me is, how is it that what's going on with them patents in to Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly? That I just don't get. It seems to me like some personal stuff kind of went down on it. If you need my opinion on it, and this is my honest opinion on it, they need to fall back. They need to fall back because they're doing nothing but adding more salt to gossip circumstances, gossip dramas, shit around Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. It's all about, you know, how you got there, who you met him with, and then you did this, and you, it's like at this point, who gives a rat's ass? At this point right here, who gives a rat's ass of who was first and who was last? Who said this? Who took people there? Who did this? Who did that? And who did that? Let's think about it. Does it really matter? Let's make a point here and ask ourselves. Does it really fucking matter? I'm going to have to tell you guys at this point, I don't think it matters. Here's why I say so. Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly just had a hearing. Am I correct, you guys? He just had a hearing, right? You heard him for vaguely for a minute. Then you heard Giddy, and you heard Mr. Greenberg on the phone speaking with the judge. Did you hear it? Let me see, you guys. If you put a one in the chat, if you guys got information about that. You guys got, hello, Tania. You guys got, remember that? It was just a couple of days ago. Well, actually, was it yesterday? Yesterday. I believe it was yesterday. What's the day? It's Thursday. Something like that. I get lost with my days because I be so busy. But they just had a hearing. Thank you, Iris. They just had it. Now, ask yourself, how long have everybody been on YouTube, right? Everybody's been on YouTube. You got the bloggers out there. You got everybody out there throwing out their debunking things. We even got a new guy out there, right? He's a little bit behind in the stories, but I'm sure he'll catch up, right, at his own time. They tell people, because me, I don't get brainwashed. I don't fall for the yo-yos. It's just not me. That's stuff that it go in one ear and out the other ear. That's just me. It just doesn't stick to me. But a lot of people out there, it sticks to them, right? Because they have their group and they have their person that they're going to follow. And this is who we're going to believe, so shout out to them, whatever. Pap is a little different. You can't just tell me anything. That's just how I am. I have my 5 W's and y'all know that. You're going to have to break it down. And if you missing maybe 1 to 3 W's in there, you got to move on because you're lying about something. The truth of the story will have all of them in there. You're going to be able to break down every single thing up in your story. And when you can't do that to me, you got to go. I don't want to hear what you got to say. But we have had nothing but debunking of the lies when it came to the Lifetime. We've heard people opinions about the presidents with as is entertainment. You have heard pretty much everything of what your government has put in on a black and white piece of paper. You've heard it. It's on the paper. This is his charges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got all the charges on there. This is this person. This is this person. This is what's happened. We charge it for the sex trafficking. We charge it for the bribery of this person for this Aaliyah crap. You've heard it. We've heard hundreds of people now come out, show videos and everything. We've showed it. They tell us, people, not us in general, just people, that y'all better be careful because they have people out here watching, right? That's what they tell you. Because they got people watching out here, right? Hell, as far as they know, they got the attorneys see a little bit of this. Maybe the prosecutors might be seeing peeping in because they got family members. Everybody knows somebody that knows somebody that knows some goddamn body. The judge might peep in, who knows? Because he got a niece or whatever, hey Beverly, telling him certain things or whatever, this or this or that, right? This shit, what's going on with Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, either way you put it, it's no big secret. It's not a secret anymore. Everybody knows what's going on with Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. So I am confused now where Mr. Kelly has this hearing a couple of days ago. And you ask yourself, is what's going on YouTube actually working with debunking the things? And I've asked myself that question, right? So, and I'm listening to them on the phone, and I'm listening. I hear and read everything and hear everything, you guys. I had the number, I tapped in, but I'm in my private of my own home. I didn't have to come online to share that, right? So, not a single, not anything that has been done at this point has convinced these prosecutors to say, let's go look back into so-and-so and so-and-so. We might, let's go do this. Because they've heard they done heard some whole rumors around here, y'all. They done heard the rumors, right, about Ashanti, or about Lisa Van Allen, or about Deronda Pace, or about Lizette, or about Sampson, you name it. They done heard all this shit. They done heard it. Somebody done heard it. And not once have they come to terms to say, you know what, we should drop this charges here. We really don't have nothing. We should drop this charges here. And I question myself because when they go to these hearings, none of it is brought up. None of it is brought up. So you can't tell me that inside of this courtroom or between these judges and the prosecution and the defense attorney, whatever, that they haven't heard none of the debunking, or they haven't heard, or, go look in this area. This is what we think. They heard the cry out here when they said, Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly did this, Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly did that, Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly did this, because the Chicago state attorney, what's her name? Kim Foxx, because she came hollering, right? You can't tell me that Kim Foxx don't hear this stuff, right? They hear these things, right? It's the fact that they don't care. They don't care anymore now. All they want to do now is drag this out, continue to make money off of this case, until the defense has its time to listen to what the prosecutors have, in which they know they're going to lose this case. They do know this. In my heart and my gut tell them they do. But can you imagine how humiliating it would be to come up to the judge and say, we need to drop this one right here? Do you know how humiliating that would be? When they were 100% sure that they had Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. They can't do that. They don't want to do that. It would be so goddamn humiliating. It is crazy because that's how bad that they want him. So now it's all about, we're just going to continue on with what we have. We know that this don't fit. We know that this don't fit. We know that this don't fit. But you know what? We can't turn back now. Can't turn back now. I believe that when, my honest opinion, I mean, they're going to get 3 years, close to 3 years. Then they're going to release him. That's how I feel about this. I really, really do. Since he won't take the plea, and he should not take the plea. What better way to try to get what they want out of it, which they obviously are getting everything that they want. She's denying the motions and things. So it's like, okay, well, we'll just keep playing around with it. This isn't the judge first time ordering the prosecution a deadline to get the defense information. This isn't the first time. He tried that already. What happened? They still didn't end up getting the information that she told or to get it to him. Yeah. So here we are again with the second retry of get them those things. I'm going to ask you guys this. Did you see a date on the paper? You see a date on there? Did that paperwork says you will have the defense attorney this information no later than March. What are we in? February the 20th by 2 p.m. or we will be tossing this case. See, when you see some shit like that, now you know you're working with a real, this judge means what the hell he says. When they don't put all of those details up in there, loophole, left it open. Exactly, PDQ, for games to continue to be played. Pay attention to it. You have to have all of the details in there for them to know that it's solid. This is what she means. So, you say, OnePap, I feel the same way. That time from 2008, they have nothing they forcing the time. They are forcing time out of him. I don't care about like all of the arguments with the other side. You got the Drunken Larry thing, right? People have to stop because in all reality, you got to learn how to separate it. If you're going to go after Drunken Larry because of what he did with this alleged 1-point-something million being saying that his uncle name was Demise Deshawn, when actually it's him, that's separate. You can't try to choose to take down him because of him stealing the 1.6 million and tie that factor into it with Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. The only thing that you can tie into factor with him and Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly and is him with Angelo and just the takedown of it. You got to learn how to separate the two. Yes, you can sit here and show these people or tell these people that sorry, you guys, that we have like this criminal-minded person who is capable of doing these things, but there is nothing with his 1 million that he allegedly took to tie in to Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly's case. People have to learn how to, you got to separate the two if you're going to fight. You got to fight them on two different battles, not one. You can't, there's nothing to fight with that. And you want to go get an attorney all on your own because you feel like you need monetary damage because you were hurt. You know how like Drunken Larry said that he felt that he was hurt because he need some money back from Mr. Kelly for buying the CDs and shit like that and going to the concerts. But see, that's just him with mind manipulation. And if you ain't rose above the way Drunken Larry put his shit down by now, you need to go just click off of YouTube, period. Because there's no way that boy should be out here to manipulate anybody anymore. It's old. It's like you don't hear the BS. Like, get out of here. So people have to learn how to do that. at this point, because of the arguments that was going back and forth yesterday with, with Sylvia and Bookham, right? Gotta separate the shit. They got themselves into their own little goddamn fueling ass of things of what's going on as far as with the car and with the, and the license plates and whether if, I've been to your house and I know you. But then they can't separate it due to the fact that they had all been around Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. It's like they got their own tabletop of personal issues that's commingling in some of Mr. Kelly's serious issues. And it's crazy. It's really, really bizarre. It's like, well, wait a minute. So I heard one man, I hear a lot of people that be out there and they ask you, right? They say, do you know the difference between the fame of the person or the actual person, like the legend of the person? Like which one? I think a lot of people are lost a little bit about who they are coming out for, who they're coming out for. I'm not out there for R. Kelly, the stage person. I'm not out there his music is not on trial. He's not going to trial from being sued from a bunch of people at concerts and things like that. He's on trial for being Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, a human acts. That's what he's there for. And to me, what I gather out of a lot of stuff, right? I'm like, oh, you get off the fan bus. Get off the fan bus. Music gonna be around forever. You could put his CD in right now and it's gonna be there forever. Get off the fan bus. Get off the, I was so excited to meet him and I got in his presence. I'm starting to think that a lot of them, it showed up because there was some fan friction going on. Bookham has all of his excuses about, I took this person there or why I was in this position. I was in it. Be careful with him. That's just me. It's my opinion. You got to make up your own opinion for yourselves, but you best believe that I ain't scared to put my goddamn opinion out here. I'm not. He takes everybody narrative. When he came on the other day and he was playing yesterday the video, he took that whole goddamn video and switched the goddamn narrative up on it so damn fast. And the crazy thing, I don't know if it's because the people in the chat is fast to talk and slow to listen. If they reverse it up a little bit to be slow to talk, quick to listen, it just might work out for them. But I'm sitting there and I'm going, did this man really, really switch the narrative up on some shit that was almost 2 years ago of a video? And okay, however, there is still some, it's confusing because you still have some conflicting who, what, when, where, and whys when it comes to both sides of their stories, So, hey, Fire, hey. So it's weird, but until people learn how to, you got to start separating some of the situations out here because it's crazy. They got a whole personal goddamn thing that has now implemented its way into where, because you keep hearing Mr. Kelly or Rob or you hear that, and then you hear their story about this car thing, and it's one would think that this shit is like all together. Like, no, it's not. No, it's not. There has been one major mistake made out here about Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly's case. One major goddamn mistake. And that's his attorneys. His attorneys spoke to quite a few people that's on YouTube, that runs channels, that can call in and do anything. When you are at that level of being a legend, when you're at this peak of your life and you have your high power attorneys, I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I'm sorry, my attorneys would be terminated unless I have given my attorneys permission on who to talk to. Ain't nowhere in the world that my attorneys would have ever been out here speaking to a single soul because you blogging or none of that. Especially when the attorneys didn't quite have a tight hold over what's going on with these allegations. They just literally like just came right on out and was taking phone calls and setting up this fund for this and doing this thing for this and this person get this. No, you want to get the information, make sure they got the number on that, a little code thing that you can call in and listen to it from the judge. And that's as far as it should goddamn went. That was the number one mistake ever made out here only with Mr. Robert Sylvester Cowley. It really is, you guys. It really is. And now it got to the point, shout out to them, that hopefully they have shut down quite a bit of phone calls. See, it's in reality, you guys, when you really think about it in reality and all of the YouTube channels and everything, we ain't kin to that man. Nobody's out here really kin to him, you know, like that. Like you ain't really walked with this man like every day of his life. You never lived in his homes and things like that. But it's like everybody has the answer of how this should play out or why they shouldn't be doing this and why they shouldn't be doing that and everything. I just, like I say, I just sit back and be like, this is crazy. But put yourselves in Mr. Robert Sylvester Cowley's shoes right now. Put yourselves in his shoes and you ask yourself, is this something that you would have wanted your attorneys to do? They are attorneys. That comes with professionalism. They know how to come out and get investigation done. You hire professional people for that. You do this. So whoever allowed for Mr. Robert Sylvester Cowley case to become a YouTube case, yeah, it's insane. It's insane. They compromised his case. They compromised it. When you get an indictments coming in or paperwork coming in, and it has on there Ronald McDonald from off of Burger King channel sent this in, I think that we should look at that. I sure hope that you brought Burger King and Ronald McDonald in and set them down, and not just because it was written on a piece of paper like old boy and them over on the other channels did, right? And then they just run with it. It's malarkey. It's really malarkey. And I don't know how people out here just still believing that this, with Drunken Larry, we did this and we got that, and we gonna say this and we got that and we got that. Are y'all fucking kidding me? I cannot emphasize that anymore. I sit and I be looking, and boy, his chat, they into more so of just talking about people more so than really listening to him, if y'all pay any attention to him. His chat room ain't listening to him. All they waiting on is when the game show is going to begin, when we going to talk about people. That's all they want to do. That's it. That's it. That's all they want to know. They never have any questions about the who, what, when, where's, or why's. But the minute they can get on there and call somebody the turtle head and the fuck boy and the bit, they is ready for that. Now they hear that. They hear that. But pay attention to his platform. That's all they waiting on. It's who we gonna talk about today. That's it. They don't get to, and you know what that tells me? It's just my opinion. And it's not just his platform. It's quite a few platforms. You know what they waiting on? They waiting on you to like shut up, because these people are human just like we are, Everybody out here ain't sitting out there like believing that stuff. It's just that it's fun. It's fun. Corruption in the industry. It's just fun. So I thought about doing a game, but then because y'all know sometimes I ain't always right. But there's a game show, and the game show comes up, and of course the panel is fun because the game show was about, of course, me and some others, right? So maybe for Funky Friday, we go get funky with it. It is what it is, but it is what it is. So, and Juicy, that makes him feels so special, so on top of the world, and so above everybody when he got that opportunity to do so with that attorney. He felt that he became the most powerful thing on here. And you ask me, what is it that he could have absolutely really done with working with that attorney? What is he gonna do? He knows everybody. We know that for a fact. So I don't know. It was crazy though. But y'all know what? We got Funky Friday tomorrow. I have a little bit more time in the mornings to sit and things like that. Don't forget your Saturday ladies' night. I think we got another big hype panel coming aboard. Don't forget, keep your eyes and ears open about Steve Harvey. Just might be getting ready to get some allegations and some awareness brought out here a lot louder. Tasha K, I don't know what to tell you guys about that. You believe what you want to believe. I already put my tea on that. I really did. You can't flip flop with me. You either gonna be one way or or no way. It's just simple as that. And she came out in her one way and she stood on it. And today she still do stand on it. She told y'all out her own breath how she said, yay. What she did she said, I'm not taking that back with Geronda Pace. She tells you guys that she knows this, she knows that. The feds, really? The feds got Tasha K off of blogging. The feds is interested in Tasha K, a blogger that supposedly, y'all remember that? She was going to be like maybe a witness, right? Y'all remember that one? I remember all her videos, but yeah, y'all sit and wait for that one to happen too. But I don't know. Free R. Kelly. Don't forget, you guys, we got the Walk for Chaos coming up on March 19th and 20th. Tomorrow, 10 o'clock, will be the last day for the hoodies. Again, shout out to everybody that has purchased your hoodies. They will be ready for you guys. And there is no scamming over here. We do not have any other money coming in from nowhere other than the donations to the channels and the hoodies. That's it. That's it. That's all. I hear it. I see it all out there, you guys. Some things just don't need to be addressed, but guess what? We just might be playing that old hashtag game tomorrow, y'all. Make it a little fun. We gotta keep the fun up out here. I think they just want the little fun. That's all. We'll keep the fun up. But I got a few hashtags my goddamn self. I do. I really do. Pap got to go. I got to go, you guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Don't forget, Friday night, last day for the hoodies. Yay! And the weather, I'm predicting 50 degrees. However, at nighttime for March, the weather do drop in Chicago, probably down to 30s or so, but you'll be in your hotel rooms. Don't forget to book your hotel rooms in enough time, you guys, somewhere near close to 111 South Michigan Avenue. Don't forget. And I'll see you guys on Funky Friday and Saturday, ladies' night. I will. You have a good day too, girl. Trevor, have a beautiful day. Priscilla, have a beautiful day. Juicy, have a beautiful day. Beverly, have a beautiful day. Lil Jones, beautiful day. Tania, beautiful day. PDQ, beautiful day. Shannon, all you guys have a beautiful day. Chi-Town, have a beautiful, beautiful day. Fire is out. Have a beautiful day. I think I got everybody. I did. One love, you guys. Beauty in Harlem. Thanks for showing up, you guys. Thank you. But I got to go.
Yeah, look, hey, stay on reaching for the energy. I ain't worried, give a fuck about the enemy. Beat his ass, got him thinking it was 10 of me. That's why tonight I'm on the weed, not the Hennessy. Niggas lying, but I tell you how it really be. Drop the game, I can sprinkle for infinity. I'm the player of the year if I do say, cause I treat a Saturday like a Tuesday. Came through with the sauce for the soul food. Eat good, smoke great, that's a whole move. Whole time, half time for the smoke break. In the mission, from the mission for the long cake. Laced up, rope chain, got my tongue tied. Top down, titties out, let them sun dry. I'm that nigga and I said it before I had proof. Can't believe it till they see it, that's a sad truth. Hey, I be out of time, out of bounds. You be out of line, out of bounds, out of comeback. I be out of time, what it does that. You tell lies and your rhymes where your funds at. Real about money in my real name. Niggas 30 years old and they still ain't. Tryna kick it in the H like a field goal. Touchdown with finesse, that's a heel toe. Look, fuck what you thought, nigga, think better. Sundress, no drawers, got the seat wetter. Got my suede jumpsuit for the wind chill. Hot girl, but she blowing like a windmill. Truly, I ain't got a flex for the routine. Too clean with a plate full of protein. Nigga, worry about me, can't help you. Way better when it's heard and it's felt too. Get my weed from the west, go from the south. Show 'em how to make them triple loads from the couch. Nigga counting on luck and a life plan. I'ma have the last laugh for a lifespan. Hey, I be out of time, out of blood rush. You be out of line, out of bounds, out of comeback. I be out of time, what it does that. You tell lies and your rhymes where your funds at.